families and educators, August is an opportunity to think about the new habits and new routines that you want to put in place for the children in your classroom or the children in your home so that you can get started on the right foot and have a successful school year. Now, many of you might have tried sensory diets or strategies to help your child calm down and focus to get their homework done, or be able to sit in their seat longer without being extra fidgety or chatting with their friends too much. But you're really looking for something that might be easy to implement, fun to do with your kids, doesn't take that much time, and has a really big return on investment. And that's why I want to tell you about the Body Activated Learning Framework, because I think this is going to be just the solution for you to implement, whether it's in a classroom or as part of the morning routine as you're getting your child ready to set up for a successful school day. We all know children or have children in our lives that seem to be always on the move, perpetually distracted, really fidgety, have trouble holding their body up, seem to never look where they're going, or maybe don't have great pencil control or fine motor skills and are struggling with writing at school. The other added complexity is that we live in a digital world, so our children are exposed to lots and lots of screen time, a lot more sedentary type activities, and we're not doing as much to balance that active and interactive learning that we used to do with the amount of screen time learning that is going on both at school and at home, not to mention the leisure time that our kids are spending on their iPads. We want to set our children up for success for the school year. So the trick is to make sure that we are adding in more things that create a balance between screen time and movement to optimize the brain and the body for learning. With that in mind, I want to show you a quick exercise sequence that you can use with the Body Activated Learning Framework in mind to get children to a calm and alert place. This is great for educators. This is also great for parents who want to do some sort of movement in the morning to prepare their children for school. So, let me set this up for you. I'm taking a few cards from my Body Activated Learning card deck, and I just want to put them on this board for you so you can see your choices as we go through the sequence. Okay, so you'll notice that at the top there's two options. There's actually a blue choice, which is the Restore category of Body Activated Learning, and an orange choice. Now, the one we pick is going to depend on the general energy of our classroom or the energy of our family or our children that morning. If we need to get them alert and connected to their body, we definitely want to lean into energize exercises. Energize exercises involve speed and unpredictability of movement, get you really alert and connected and focused on what you're doing, and then you can follow up with exercises that help to train your eyes and your body to work together, and then finish with a regrouping exercise such as eye cupping, breathing, stretching, something to help your child recover from the skill demands of the school day, or even just the skill demands of the activating exercises, which may not be as easy for them. If we choose the Restore pathway, that means that our child needs to calm down first to help them be more available for the activate activities and then the regrouping. So the core components of restoring are rhythm, pressure, and respiration. Those are the three things that you need to decrease stress in the body and bring a child to a place of calm and focus before moving on to more skilled types of activities. Now, when you think of traditional sensory diets or you think of movement breaks in the classroom, sometimes the movements that we do are a little bit too coordinated, like wall push-ups or wall sits or traditional exercise kinds of things that a child who doesn't have good coordination or who doesn't cross the center of their body is able to do easily. So the activities end up being more stressful than regulating. with body activated learning, you can actually balance and head off that extra work while still training the body by doing energizing and restoring exercises that don't involve a lot of coordination, are really focused on the key elements of the task itself that are alerting or calming before trying to train the body so that future activities become easier for your child to execute and don't trigger as much stress and overwhelm and disorganization. So let's go through the 3-step sequence for the body activated learning exercises. If we start with energizing, and put your hands behind your head and start turning left and right. I want you to get a nice rhythm going. It does not matter if you are looking at a target. All that matters is that you're twisting your body side to side. And then once you get a really nice rhythm, I want you to try to speed it up and go a little bit faster. Be a little bit crazy about it. It doesn't matter if you're all the way. The main point is that you're turning your head, you're trying to go fast, you're trying to be speedy. Turn on some music if that's what works for you. If you get a little bit too dizzy, feel free to squish down on the top of your head or slow it down just a bit, and then gradually come back down. Slow down that movement until you get to a place of still. You never want to leave children in that wild and crazy space. You always want to bring them back down first, or it's not going to help you in the attention and focus department. Now, moving on to the next part of the sequence, we're actually going to train the eyes and the body to work together. And there are other exercises in the card deck and in the Body Activated Learning Handbook that target different things, such as fine motor skills, coordinating eye and hand movements, moving through space, and active listening. So this is just one of many that you can choose from. This is called the star throw. I want you to reach up over to the side across your body. Make sure you are looking at your hand this time. So now we do want to use our eyes. Look at your hand and then throw that star down to the ground and follow your hand again. If your child needs a stamp or a sticker on their hand to be more successful, then you could do that. The other thing you could do if a child has additional needs and it's hard to get them to look at their hands, you can always add an animal toy or a car or something that is interesting to them that they can reach for, grab onto, and then put it into a box next to them. So this is the star throw. We're going to be doing this left and right. Make sure that every time your child is shifting their attention, not looking off in the other direction as they grab. And then you want to do the same thing on the other side 10 times. 7, 8, 9, 10, and if your child is over 5 years old, does have pretty good motion and coordination, is pretty good at using their eyes and their body together, you might want to add on a bonus vision exercise to try to help train their visual system and build their visual endurance for all that screen time that they'll be encountering throughout the day. So the one that I chose is called near far shifts. You can do this with a marker. You can also do this with your thumbs. If you stick your hand out, you put the second hand thumbs up at your elbow and then practice looking at the thumb that's closest to you or the marker top or whatever object you have, and then the one further away. Every time you shift, the one that you're looking at should come into visual focus and the one that you're not looking at should get blurry. The idea is to really train those eyes to try to start working together and converging so that children can stay focused on their workbook, on the writing that they're doing, on the book that they're reading, or on the other visual tasks that they're doing throughout the day at their desk. Now, let's finish up with eye cupping. If this exercise was really hard, you might start seeing some blinking and looking away. Your child's tolerance might be really limited. So to make sure that you are both building the skill and supporting their recovery, I want you to take 2 scoops with your hands, put them over your eyes, and stare into the black. Okay, and while you're doing that, you can also encourage your child to take deep breaths. It's important that you don't let any light in because you want the pupils to dilate and the eye muscles to relax in the process of doing this exercise. And you only need to do it for maybe 30 seconds. This is also a standalone exercise that if you're a teacher, you can do this multiple times throughout the day, especially following any sort of visual demand to help your children recover and build that visual endurance to promote focus and attention throughout the day. When we did a research study in 2015, it turned out that the teachers loved this exercise so much that they started implementing it throughout the day on their own outside of the research protocol. So I can't say enough how valuable even just this one tool might be for you if you're a teacher in a classroom. And also something that you can use with your child during homework time if you're a parent. We went through the energizing sequence. The opposite of that sequence to calm down first would be doing a restoring exercise. So instead of doing something fast and unpredictable, you're going to do something that has rhythm, pressure, and respiration. So you lift your arms up. You might want to squeeze at the top to add extra pressure. So you see how I'm getting rhythm in my whole body, but I'm also making space in my rib cage to do the breathing. And then you would follow that up with the star throws, with the vision exercises, and with the eye cupping. So you're always going to do a sequence of 3. The benefit being I am not only training my child's body to work for them, but I'm also giving them the self-regulation and recovery tools that they need to have sustained focus and attention throughout the school day. And at any given point, you might be starting with something energizing, or you might be starting with something restoring, depending on the energy level of your classroom if you're a teacher, or the energy level of your child when they come home at the end of the day exhausted from all the work that they did if you're a parent. Now, if you like these exercises and if you're interested in learning more about body activated learning, you can go to bodyactivatedlearning.com and go to the shop. In the shop is the Body Activated Learning Handbook, where you'll be able to see all of these exercises plus a whole lot more that we talked about today. And there is a very nice visual chart explaining how to go through the process, what the process looks like, and how to use this book effectively, understanding what the elements are for energize, restoring, activating, and regrouping. The same is true for this deck of cards. This is really the card version of the handbook, and I really love it because it makes it very easy to pick just a couple exercises, lay them out on the ground, stick them on the wall, help your children get used to them. There is an ebook version of this as well, so if you're a teacher who wants to access the exercises via the smart board or the Promethean board in your classroom, that's definitely an option as well. We want to use them as training materials. We don't want to make children dependent on videos to go through the exercises, because then they are not turning their head and they're not taking the vision breaks that they so desperately need throughout the day to be successfve. Now, if you're thinking that your child is not ever going to be able to do an exercise sequence like this, I'm already way ahead of you, and I want to encourage you to get the expansion pack or the comprehensive activity pack that we have on the website, because I have actually broken down more interactive activities that you can do with your child by the different sections of the Body Activated Learning Framework to make it easy for you to expand in any direction you want using the concepts of body activated learning. You are not limited to the exercises. The exercises are a quick and easy 3-minute tool that you can use multiple times throughout the day. And if you have the ability, the equipment, the space to add on and do more, I definitely encourage you to play more mindfully with your child to bring back in that balance between screen time and movement that they so desperately need to be successful every day in school with their peers, and to have their bodies working for them rather than against them throughout the school day in this digital world. My name is Aubrey Schmalley. I am the creator and author of the Body Activated Learning Framework, And today I want to encourage you to proactively set your child up for success this school year, set your children in your classroom up for success, and check out Body Activated Learning at bodyactivatedlearning.com.